Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for joining. It's been touch and go a while. I'm not sure if it's better for me to answer your question via the chat or not. Um, in the process of improving it. There's a delay. Mhm. How did I come up with the idea? All right. So I think there's a delay with Restream, but in short, it's just something I have to do at work a lot. Is every time we create a new table or a new data set or something, I have to go and create new pages, new forms, new everything for that table, that data set. And it just became tedious and they become more and more complicated every time they ask for new features. So instead of me having to go do it manually, I just want to be able to click a button and have a lot of that stuff done for me. Last time I ran a test on this, which was an early version that was in a different language, I was able to do an estimated. So last time I ran this on a test project, I was able to do an estimated 48 hours worth of work in approximately 1.5 minutes. Hmm. That's why I'm doing it on my computer. So, I mean, you were curious about the MVVM thing, and essentially you can kind of see in table structure on the right over here. I don't know if you can see it well enough, but basically each feature has everything broken down into the model, the views, and the view models. And then that helps structure what's going on. So like you have your, let's grab like a simple one. So if I grab the view, which is just your page, right? It's what you're viewing. Um, this is just a simple page to add information about a SQL server. Just like what is its name and a description of it and whether or not you're going to be able to use it or not. Well, the data that binds to that and whatever is basically back here in the view model. So under a very similar name, so this one is new, uh, VM. And it looks like I have a typo in this other one, but regardless, I should have been able to fix that. So we'll just do a quick fix on that. Okay. So this one is the view model, but the view model then refers to models. So I've already created what the model of a SQL Server information has with it, and then there's other models like the actions that could happen or navigation throughout the utility or whatever. And then you tie your methods inside of the view model to anything that happens on the view. Um, or the view calls the actions in the view model, and then the view model can handle stuff with the model itself. So in here you can see it basically says, hey, commit these actions with the record, add it, and if it comes back true, then close the pop-up window that you're on. So it makes it super simple at that point. Yeah, I haven't dealt with Angular much. To respond to your chat there that came in about similar to Angular works. I'm not sure. On that one, I will believe you since I don't have much knowledge on that one. I broke it somehow, so go figure. I've been good about explaining what's going on here, but I was setting up a couple of new templates, one for custom buttons and one for all. So now at the top of my list here, I can put in two toggle buttons, essentially for models to be created, and then kind of go from there. And we would say, hey, this one's, um, a certain thing. So here at the top, we have models to create, which is that one. And then is model to be created, which is that one. We have two toggle buttons next to it, one that's in the same row, and then the other one that's in the same row, and then this one is simple model to be created. Um, and what we can see here is the row is then this one. Okay, so that's gonna bring this simple model down. Is simple model to be created? Yes. Simple model, yes. Style is going to be toggle. Options, yes. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And then the option for no, same sort of thing, is we'll do is simple model to be created, and we'll see now the button lines up with that label, so they kind of get grouped together. But across the top with the is models to create, we could have some general toggles where we can select all of them at one time. We could say all custom. But I will be right back. All right, I am back. I just had to grab myself some caffeine. If you are still here, feel free to throw something in the chat. I never quite believe restreams viewing numbers, but we can always see if it's accurate. But let's see what we got. So it says we have 3 on Twitch. I don't think that's accurate. We can certainly find out. Oh, Twitch still says I have 3 too. That is weird. All right, cool. That's it for now. What do we have? Well, let's get us really in the groove here. So essentially, we want to have it write certain models. We have the full complicated model from the view. We have the simple model. Um, whether or not it's building that, and then we're going to need the views. Now, the simple model is going to be used for drop downs, easy selections, stuff like that. View models. Hey, Legrand Blue. Excellent. You are here. Fantastic. It's awesome. Thank you for saying hi. I'm glad somebody heard me. Um, so let's see. Wonder if I can jump to that on Twitch. Hey, it says you're following me. Awesome. I'll follow you back because I can. Cool. So there we go. We got that. I appreciate you saying hi. Feel free to ask a question or something in the chat. I will do my best to answer. I'm going to actually throw some music on in the background. I don't know that I'll share it because I don't want YouTube to get all, yeah, and whatnot. We're going to see what we got. Yeah, let me grab some quick music here. Cool. Let's just drop the audio on that a little bit. All right, very cool. And I know I'm not showing the audio, so that's what it is. It says no copyright songs on their channel, but I don't know if I trust that. Anyway, so what do we got? So we have models, we have details, we have news, we have lists, we have data tables, we have all that fun stuff. Does it run? No, of course it doesn't run. Okay, new V does not contain a definition for toggle list page to be created. Yes, checked 1. Okay, well, that's fine because we can certainly try. Let's hit go to definition. Boop. All right, so this case create yes, checked. All right, so it got us there. Yeah, so I don't know what it didn't like about that. Let's try a rebuild. Okay, rebuild succeeded. Let's try now. All right, cool. So we can do our table selection. We can grab my SQL Express. And I don't think I turned my local SQL server on yet. So we're going to do that. My guess is it is attempting to connect to the server, but it can't because it's off. So either way, it found some of the data that I was looking for from my local, but we're going to do a quick refresh on this, see what we get. All right, server is online now. So let's go ahead and check that. We have databases, yep. We have schema, yep. And we have tables, very good. So if we grab our test table, we check our view, we have our test view, and then we can say which steps do we want. All right, so immediately we see some behavior issues. I checked the model checkbox and the other ones also checked. So if we check on a couple more of these, yeah, there's some weird behavior going on here, probably because I haven't finished up the binding yet. But straight away, let's make sure that we have these fields set up right. So it's asking about models, views, and view models, right? And that's going to be inside of here. So we're going to check on this, and we're going to set up a section, which I think is going to help us organize. So we're going to say views to be created. Okay, so this is detail page, new record page, list page. Okay, data table page. There we go. Yep. So then we can do end region. Very good. And that's going to be end region of views to be created like so. Now this is going to be model and simple model. Let's do that one. Models. Okay. We'll do end region. And we'll set up region for models here. Very good. Like that. So now we have models. And we already have all this set up. So basically everything that says page has to be changed to view model. So we have detail, new, list, data table. Um, yeah, so we'll grab that entire section, and then we're just going to set up a new region, view models to be created, end region. Okay, there we go. And we're going to paste that whole section back in. Now it's a lot of lines, and it gives me a. We're going to make sure. There we go. Yep. So we will look for the word page 2B, and we will switch it to view model 2B, and replace that. So at this point in time, we have is detail view model to be created? Yes and no. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Then we have is new view model to be created? Yes and no. We have the text, and then we have the other ones. Pretty simple there. Okay. And then it is data table view model to be created as well. So that's our 1, 2, 3, 4 main views and view models. And if we check on our page, you should see that we had 4: detail, new, list, data table, detail, new, list, and data table. Very good. So we just have to bind these to their own piece. So let's do that. So we go to steps to complete. Okay. And then view model is here. Okay. So we're going to say is checked, is model to be created. That's not correct. We would say is new record view model to be created to that. And then this row is binding it to is element name is model to be created. So it's actually getting the first row, even though it's supposed to be looking at this one. So we're going to put that to this one. Same with this one. Okay. This one is new record view model to be created, and I don't know why these are listed twice, but they are, so we're going to do a find and replace on that. To be created to one of them. We're going to do it through the whole document. But we'll give it a shot. Okay, so we have the yes, we have the no. Binding this one, yes, switches to no. Okay, like so. Works for me. That's yes, no. Is model to be created? No, checked. These events are not correct, so we can set up new events for those. Okay, very good. I'll have to come back and decide what we want to do with those later, but we have that. So then this one's list, and again, this says list page, so we're going to say is list view model to be created? Yes. Okay. And again, this one says check toggle record list view model to be created. Yes, checked. So that one's correct. And then this one is list view model to be created. No. Okay, that one is correct now. So now detail record. This one says is new record. So this is going to be detail record view model to be created. Okay, just like that. Is detail view model to be created, which is a yes. And then this one's going to be staying with this element here, detail record view model to be created, which is that name. Okay, so we'll put that one down. And then this one also has the wrong event name, so we'll give that a different event. And then behind it, no changes. Let's do detail view model to be created, no. Okay, it's there. And again, this has to be bound to the correct label. Okay, and then the checked event has to be set up correctly too. All right, there we go. So now we have a toggle button. The next one is data table. Same concept. Is data table view model to be created? Yes. Okay. And we can actually name this correctly. Do that. Get the checked event straightened out. Get the element name straightened out too. So we're going to switch that with this data table view model to be created. Okay. Yep. And then we have that one. So we'll swap out that name. We can move that down. And then this one can also move down. And this is the toggle button. Okay. Is data table view model to be created? No. Okay. And then this one is the wrong checked event too. Make a new one. Very good. So now we have events for those. So we have our models, we have our detail, our views, and our view models, and they should be tied together, which is fine. Right. Ooh, sliced my hand yesterday. That still hurts. Okay. So we should have the buttons correctly working now. Let's make sure. So we go here, table selection, we go to our server, and then pick on our table. I'll pick on test and our view. Pick on our steps to create. Make sure nobody like suddenly turns on that's not supposed to. We do probably want some sort of a scroll bar because we don't seem to have either page so the whole thing moves up and down, or we can do it just in this section. I think because our instructions aren't going to be that long, we can probably do it in this section, which is fine. So either way, it's okay. We have this. Now the trick with the steps is you need names based on we're selecting. So here's our table. Our table prefix is just T, and then our name, our table subject is obviously test and test. So that's there. I don't know if that saved correctly, but we'll have to look into that. And then primary key, record added, timestamp. We don't seem to have one. Now it says it's required, so that's probably something that we can remove. All the way down is soft delete, yep. And then we can say, I think it is deleted, but you get the idea. So we can take that out. I think our test table needs some improved fields. So we can actually test it against stuff. And then we had procedures. Yep. So this one is text instructions. I don't know about that. So, we're gonna change and make another one. Actually gonna set this to be italic gray. All right. And then we'll do a gray color. Yep. Font style. No, not font stretch. Font style. Italic. Yep. So that's a pretty self-descriptive style there. Let's go back. All right. So then this one becomes txt italic gray. Boom. All right. So that puts it kind of like right below what's going on. Now, these are the start procedures, and we can say that now the toggle button is not currently bound to this selection for the start procedure. And I don't know that we have a region for this. No, I don't see it. So let's create a new region. We're going to call it store region. Okay. All right. Um, so we got those, and essentially we're going to start with Booleans of, are we looking to make each one of these options? So if we look at our page, we currently have a few stored procedures. Procedure for adding the record, updating the record, deleting the record, getting the record, selecting the record. And I know getting and selecting sounds very similar, but they are different. This one, this is going to say retrieves the entire record of a single record from the primary key value. Okay, and then the select record, which is down a bit. This one allows us to select a list of records using filters. Yep. TXT, and that's going to be italic gray, just like so. Makes sense to me. Now, this label yeah, we can actually push it up without affecting the one above it. So we would just have to do a -5 margin. That kind of bumps it over that blank space, which is already blank, so we're not worried about interfering with button click events. But so that's add, update, delete, get, select. We're also going to need list record functions. Does bug me that they're not in alphabetical order. So update would have to move. It would have to move down, but so that's fine. So we got add, update, delete, get, and select. Let's put those into the model. Say pub private. Boolean. Actually, it's going to be similar to how we did views or view models, where it's actually an integer, and then we convert to Booleans appropriately. So it sounds weird, but we're going to run with that. Okay, so in this case, we have is detail page to be created, and we're going to switch it from detail page to new record stored procedure. Okay, and we will change that out. Okay, so now we have those options. So is new record stored procedure. We have that. So from here we have add new record, then we would need update record. Swap out the next one. Okay. So then we can swap out new record with update record. Save that. All right. So nice and easy. Now we have a bunch of variables made for the update record stored procedure. And the next one that we would end up needing, let's save that, get rid of it. Okay, then we have delete record, get, and select. So delete, get, and set. Okay, so we take this one, still new record, and we'll swap that with delete record. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, we paste again, and then new record changes with get record. Okay, so now we have that. I think the last one is select records, essentially. So we'll paste that again. Okay, and new record gets exchanged with select record. Place that. Okay, so now we have even more to work with. All right, so we have new, update, delete, get, and select. All right, and we have a line break between each, which is fine, so we're consistent. Okay, easy enough. So that one's our select. And we can tie these to these buttons here. So those are our row definitions, which we don't need to use. Those are column row definitions. Okay. So let's start procedures. And what we can end up doing is we kind of put one across the top. It just says create all. And that can also work. But for now, we have the checked option. Okay, that's the event. So we'll do the event, and then is checked. We're going to do a binding to new record is add is new record stored procedure to be created. Yes, just like that. Okay, and so we're going to do checked. Let it make its own function, and then is checked. So we have that one. So, and then this is the label updating the procedure. Okay. And then this one says create stored procedure, update record. Yep, just done in the same row, which makes sense. And then we just need checked and is checked. So the checked event, it runs it based on the name and is checked as a property. we're going to do binding of new record dot is update record store procedure. Yes. Okay. Next one. Toggle button. Checked. We have another event. Is checked. New record is update record store procedure. That's set to no. Okay. And then this one, the row is set to update stored procedure. Then we need delete stored procedure. So create stored procedure, delete record. Yep. So we have is checked, binding, new record is delete stored procedure. That was yes. Okay. And then this one is no. Okay. And this one is the get. Okay. Is checked, binding, new record is get. Okay. And the toggle button here, same thing, except make it a no. All right, we save that. And then that gives kind of a description on what's going on. It increases the row, yeah. All right. When everybody thinking that you won't make it, forget them. All right, then we have select stored procedure, which is this one. When everybody's thinking that you're just chasing, forget them. When everybody out here is just hating, forget them. Is select stored procedure, which is the yes. There we go. With everyone who loves us, been with us on the come up. We have a no. All right, so we have those options. So we have the difference between get and select, which means we have the 5 procedures: add, update, delete, get, and select. Okay. We're going to need list as well, which probably should be this entire. We'll have multiple options for list procedures. And then we'll also need options for help. So this is the new record SQL Server, but not quite. Okay, so if we go to our model, we have SQL Server, database, SQL schema, SQL table, SQL view, which is correct. This is just the main table. And I think we have to take another set of these. At least this section. I don't know about the SQL view, but we're going to make a new region, and we're going to call it help tips table info and region tips table info. Does help if I spell them exactly the same. Let's do that. Okay. So if basically I select everything here and I look for anything that's space SQL lower case, so I would have to grab this match case. Yep. But this one, okay, so we would have to go through everything that was, yeah. Actually, can we switch that and just make it that and then space, and then instead do help tips SQL. Okay, and if we did select, okay, click off.
I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to
Okay,
my enemies. They're just full of jealousy.
we'll do that.
This legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my
Alright, so how do I separate between that type and this type? I don't think I can. Because this is that. So I wonder if I can instead do question mark and search for everything that has a question mark. Yep. This is nullable. Yep. And we'll have to make this nullable. Yep. Right. If we grabbed that. Alright, so help tip SQL database. Yep. Help tip SQL server. Okay, says the server, database, schema, table. So all of those seem to be correct now. This can also be nullable. Yep.
Said I'm cold in the water, broken and still, feel nothing at all, but pain and the chill. Said I'm cold in the water, broken and still,
Right.
feel nothing at all.
So we have our help tip stuff, which is good. And then we can write the help tips things for that view as well, which is here. So in this case, we have our item source, which is our list of SQL Server, which makes sense. Our selected item is not going to be a SQL Server, it's going to be help tip. No, not SQL table. SQL Server help tips, SQL Server, just like so. Display, yep, that part's the same. And then this one has a different selection changed event, which is fine. And then we can go to our database here, which again, same concept. Except this is then looking at another list, which is kind of ridiculous. So I think we have to tweak this slightly. So this one is looking at a combo of SQL databases selection changed, which isn't exactly true either. So we'll do selection changed, write itself into a new event. Excellent. And then we'll go down another one, which is help table SQL schemas, which is then this one, help SQL schemas. Good. And then selection changed. Boom, like so. Okay. And then this one is saying it's enabled if the selected index of combo SQL databases is selected, but we don't want that one. We actually want help table SQL databases. And so we're going to look at that one instead. And my guess is SQL database here also is paired to the wrong one because it is not looking at the correct combo box, which is this one, combo help table SQL server. So this one has to look at that drop down and make sure you selected a server first. Now, at the moment, we are, I think we can streamline this instead of creating another collection inside of the pages view model. We can actually create a collection inside of the model itself and just use that when we select it. So for example, like when we have a SQL server selected, but
Let's run away from this old town, to where we going? I wanna take you somewhere, baby, where it's snowing. We're young and free, let's take a dip into the ocean. Just come with me and we can fix a heart that's broken. I know you love it when we driving down the coast, yeah. I'll take you anywhere, just tell me where to go, yeah. Got nothing else but time, so let's put on a show, yeah. Your story crossed with mine, so let's go write our own, yeah. Grab my hand and we can work on letting go your fear. Grab my hand and I could take you anywhere but here. Let's run away from all our pain and wipe away those tears, and dry them up until you finally start to see so clear. I know, we're just running around, yeah. Let's go, far away from this town, yeah. I won't ever let you down, yeah. So please don't ever let me down, yeah. Growing up ain't easy. Too many things to do weekly. Too many thoughts to think deeply. Too many thoughts to be sleeping. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not eating. I feel so empty, I'm receding. And all of my friends are misleading. All of these posts and the lives they're leading. Yeah. Oh, no way. I ain't gonna stand for this today. I'ma keep my head down, I'm okay. I don't wanna listen to a word they say. And we all know fear is a slogan, yeah. And we all feel broken, yeah. And we all outspoken. Need someone who could just go. Sometimes I struggle in this place, been in circles. circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. No, I'm not down, no, I'm not out. If I got a voice, they gon' hear me shout. I can make my own choice, and we've all got a mouth. I'ma make noise, yeah, that I don't doubt. I don't feel failure, not yet. Mistakes they make, yeah, better don't regret. And like Drake said, man, I'm upset. Too many people out here wasting their breath, yeah, yeah. And still I feel like we've just all been going crazy. Too many people need to find themselves some safety. Just take control of your life, it's all day to day, yeah. Don't need nobody else, myself can always save. Sometimes I struggle in this place, been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place, people look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place, been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place, people look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. Wake up, early mornings, late nights, hopping on a different flight. What's the meaning of life, ayy? Wake up, same-ish, different day. Make a wish, call it pray. Am I sick, am I okay, ayy? Stay up, late nights, still in pain. In my mind, it decays as I try to make a change. See the sun, see it set, feel some pain, feel regret. All the same, what is next? I'm to blame for my head, Life, it changes in many different ways, yeah. You turn the page and you see a new day, yeah. Be the same or you go and make a name, yeah. Listen to hate or help someone who's in pain, yeah. We all want love and we all wanna be great, yeah. It's not enough, so we keep running the race, yeah. This life is tough if you let it be that way, yeah. Sit back and love your own journey every day. I got a lot of deep thoughts in my bed, got me feeling like a weak spot in my head, and I ask myself to please stop. Take a breath, need to get all of these deep thoughts out my head, yeah. I just wanna be known, I just wanna be home. Feel like I'm all alone and I need to do it on my own. I just wanna be known, I just wanna be home. Feel like I'm all alone and I need to do it on my own, yeah. I live for music, yeah, I love to do it, yeah. It's therapeutic and I needed to get through it, yeah. I keep on moving, yeah, I keep on doing, yeah. I keep improving so people can feel it too, and go on and fix their lives one decision at a time, one vision, one mind. We're winning this grind, okay, okay. Let's make each other proud, turn the future into now, turn this world upside down, yeah. I don't wanna feel the pain no more, I just wanna make a change, restore humanity. The sanity is leaving for the vanity. I plan to be close with my family, substantially avoiding all calamity. Financially stable, it's a fantasy, it's blasphemy. I holler out loud cause I'm crying out in agony, I just wanna help people, yeah. Cause we all just equal, and we all just fearful, those who deceitful, yeah. But if we all just work hard, yeah, and we let down our guards, yeah, we can open up our hearts and figure out how to heal our scars. I got a lot of deep thoughts in my bed, got me feeling like a weak spot in my head, and I ask myself to please stop. Take a breath, need to get all of these deep thoughts out my head, yeah. I just wanna be known, I just wanna be home. Feel like I'm all alone and I need to do it on my own. I just wanna be known, I just wanna be home. Feel like I'm all alone and I need to do it on my own, yeah.
Right, I am back. Try and get my music back online after that detour to my attention. You gotta love it when people call me with computer issues. Grammar, that will be one of your questions. Can you fix my computer? The answer is supposed to be no. I can program your computer. I can't fix your computer.
And I just wanna go
Unfortunately,
somewhere where I could
many
just
people who don't
lay
understand the difference
aside,
will still ask you
where I
to
could
fix their
just
computer.
lose my mind,
Okay,
where I could just
so we have help
find
tips, and
a
then
sky
we have a
shining
whole
bright
nother
that
set
slows
of
my
tables that
thoughts
we
and
will need
slows
for
down time.
permissions.
I think I'll
Because when we're
be
programming
just
up stuff, we want to
fine.
prevent it
It's nothing but
from going through by
desire,
checking on certain
yeah. I'm
permissions.
feeling
Now,
lost,
we
not
want to check on this
found.
on two places.
I
We
fell
want
in
to do an
love
initial
with
check
sound, and I
on
don't
the
really think
client
that
side, then we
counts.
want to do a
I'm
secondary check
married to
on the
the beat
server
right
side.
now.
Um,
I'm feeling
why?
lost, not
Well,
found. I'm drowning in the bass right now. I listen like a drug I
yeah.
found. Addicted to
So,
the plug
anyway,
right
I don't know if you
now.
guys are still here or
And
not. It
I hate the
thinks that I have two
changes,
viewers.
keeps
I'm not quite
on
sure how,
moving. I
but
don't get why it feels like
just to
it's
double check.
broken. I wish that
Uh,
I knew what I was
Does I have
doing,
two
and
on
I
Twitch? Let me
feel
switch over to
like my mind's
Twitch.
so loose. And now I lay awake. Sometimes I never feel like I could take a break. I don't know why this world just wants to make me wait. I don't know
Alright,
why this
Stream
world just
Manager
wants
on
to
Twitch says
make
what?
me hate. Yeah, I'm feeling lost, not found. I
Cool.
fell in love with
A
sound,
couple other people have
and
followed.
I don't really
Fantastic.
think that counts.
Um,
I'm married to the beat right
oh,
now.
interesting. What just happened?
I'm feeling
Just
lost,
got a
not
weird notification come
found.
across.
I'm drowning in the bass right now. I listen like a drug I
Not sure what
found.
just happened, but
Addicted to
alright.
the
That
plug
was
right
weird. Thank you, Twitch,
now.
for confusing me.
And I can feel your pain
Um,
now.
alright,
I
so we got
never
that.
got the chance to explain how nothing ever quite feels the same
Activity
now.
feed.
I wish that I could just forget your name
Chat.
now.
Part of chat, which is fine. Um, yep. So that's fine, I guess.
Tell me
Yep.
that you
Yep.
love me.
Chat, and
Tell
then
me
this
it
one's
was
gonna be
worth it. All the
screen
pain you
preview,
caused me. I
which is
know that
fine.
we weren't perfect. I feel I have a curse that
Hmm.
nothing I do works. And I know
It
that
says
you've been
I'm
hurt, but I
stable,
know we've had it
so I
worse.
don't know what
Yeah,
that's
and I
supposed to
don't
mean,
wanna
but
fake it any more than I have to. Feeling tortured, I grab you. Try to snap us both back to when I felt like I had you. It just feels like a bad mood, but you're turning your back soon. I've been stabbed in the back too, so it's over now. It's over now. There's no way we can work it out.
yeah,
Can't
cool.
work it out.
I
Every
don't know if
word that's
that's
coming out your
correct at all.
mouth is filled
We'll
with
run with
doubt.
it.
I
I'm
don't have
willing to
time
bet
to
the
figure out
stream
what
account is
that's
just wrong
about.
because of the way Restream
I
works,
don't wanna break
but
you
we can
down, but I
certainly
could
find
feel your
out.
emotion,
So
and
we have
there's
our permission
nothing I'm
stuff
holding. I just think that
um,
we're broken. I
that we
could
want to
feel
build
the
up, and we'll have our
erosion,
permission
but there
stuff to
goes
build
to
up.
the ocean.
And
Every
so we
move
have
a
our steps
caution,
to
just
complete. This
another
indicates like
explosion.
what is it that
Feel
we want it to do. And then
asleep,
we have information about the table.
just to fall
So this is the SQL
asleep.
table, the
I think
prefix,
I'm
the
in too
subject,
deep,
and the caption, which is
yeah.
all fine. Then we have
I
important fields
just
about
need to
that. So we're going to need
fall
to double check on
asleep.
the
Put my
definition of it.
mind
And
at
then at the
ease.
end of
Don't
all of
wanna
this, we're
think,
going to have to like
just
give it some
breathe.
sort of like magic
Yeah.
button, I think. So we're just going to do
Every
tab item.
single day becomes
Yeah.
another battle. I'm tired through the
Then
pain,
this
exhausted
is where
from
we
the
can
shackles.
say,
I feel you and disdain for the time we unravel. We'll never be the same.
tab
Call the
item
case,
dot
hit the
header.
gavel. I never thought it'd end like
Okay.
this with the fight.
We have
Gotta
an
guess
image,
something's right. Think we missed all
and
the
then we
fight
have a
that
text
I
block.
wish. Cause we're not
Okay. Of
reminisce
course, we
every
can't
night.
just
Felt
do
this
that
twist and I tried
because we
to
have to do
forget
it with
all
a
the pain. I
stacked
can't
panel,
feel no more. I
like
think you
so.
finally
Now there's
closed
only one
that
object,
door.
and we can say orientation
I think you
horizontal.
finally cleaned your drawer.
Okay.
I guess this is the price of war.
Here.
And as I sit, I write
All right. Then
these
we have a text
scrolls.
block,
I
and we're
sit
going to call
stay up
this
at night,
text
of course.
make magic happen, just like so. Okay. And if we check on our assets, I don't think we have any like images that would work real well for this, so that's all fine. But inside our actual tab item itself, we're going to put in a new grid. Okay. Column definitions. We'll take column definition 1, 2. Okay. This one column is just like having no grid at all. But so we have 2 columns, and then first one, we can put a button. And inside of that button, we can do something else. So we're gonna do a style is dynamic resource. We're gonna do continue style. Yeah. Okay. And then we can say content. So we have that, and instead of a grid, we can even give it a style. We don't have any grid styles. Okay. No, not storyboard style. Okay, and that's going to be vertical. Alright, well, that's fine, I guess. So let's do margin of 10. There we go. So we have this button. We're going to give it a name, button, make magic happen. Okay. Click. Alright, and that gets us an event. Is that definition? Alright. Actions interface creation. Okay, well, that's nice. So when I go to our new view model, which is this one, we have actions that happen with interface creation. So that's essentially like the record.
All these thoughts keep me up at night. Yeah, what am I doing? Did I do it right? Yeah, all these thoughts keep me up at night. Yeah,
let's see.
Can't think straight, need the light. I need to breathe. Get me up and out of the sheets, onto my feet. Another cup of coffee and me. That's what I need. My eyes puffy, I can't see. I'm too tired to function, but too lost to sleep. Ay, I think I need to be on something medication. I think I need to figure out the segregation. I think I needed just a better education to understand a world that's so complicated, intoxicated, every night faded, just so I can sleep thinking.
Alright, so hopefully, yep, mic's on, music's on, it's all good. It says I have 4 viewers. I don't believe it. Say hi for here. Okay. Check on something on my other computer here real quick. All these thoughts keep me up at night. Yeah, what am I doing? Did I do it right? Yeah, all these thoughts keep me up at night. Yeah, I can't think straight, need the light. I don't really think I understand this world now. Got my head spinning round in a circle. Everybody lacks what they need internal, so they compensate with everything external. Not trying to throw shade, no way. I'm just trying to find a meaning of life. Hey, there's happiness if you try to live the right way. Forget about what others have and live your life. Hey, be aware of who you are, what you're good at. Take a step forward, see where your foot's at. Stand tall, stand proud, talk loud. Every word out your mouth has purpose now. You just gotta get rid of the bad thoughts. Hating others cause you know that they got a lot. Forget that though, you got plenty, you're alive in this life. You got time, go get it. All these thoughts keep me up at night. Yeah, what am I doing? Did I do it right? Yeah, all All it takes is just, changing someone's permission level. Fetches something quickly. Okay, so we have actions for all of these things, databases and servers and tables and schemas and fields and navigation. Okay, here's the weird part, right? So if you start at the server, and the server itself can have databases in it, a list of databases. So we can go to the model for the server, and we should be able to create a collection inside of here that is very resemblant of this. So that means inside of the server, we should be able to do this. And we can switch list to child. Switch the word list to child, keeping it case sensitive, switch that. And then we'll switch list capital with child capital, like so. Okay, and that is a list databases. Now, the model itself doesn't necessarily need actions class. Always fun. Up on my other screen, unfortunately I can't show it, but I'm just gonna keep rolling with it for a second.
Sometimes I'll run away to this time back in history. She reminds me of the summertime, way back in 2003. And if our time is ours to waste, to leave behind a better place, then I need nothing more than life with you. Yo, it's hard days and it's hard months. Sometimes I don't know what to say, hits me all at once. My pride is getting in the way and I'm on the run, scared that things are gonna change. What will I become?
Alright, so
I can't take it sometimes, that's why I dive into rhymes. That's why we dive into lies, we digging deeper inside. We try to keep up with life, we hide our pain from the light. Do what we can to survive, but no, I won't let it take a hold of me. Find my passion, make it happen, I'm gonna take control of me. Not reacting, taking action, I can feel it pulling me. A hole so deep, my soul will need a passion that comes over me. Yeah, I won't hide from mistakes, cause if I try that's okay. I'm learning life every day, I'm 25 still the same. When I was 9 thought okay, I'll figure it out one day. Get peace of mind, I'll be safe. Yeah. Time is ours to waste, to leave behind a better place. Then I need nothing more than life with you. And if I was the one to stay, would you still spend this time with me? When I go, I want nothing else but you. Yo, they say to be where your feet are. I just listen to the beat, try to restart. I just listen to the beat like it's your heart. So far, I can't seem to let down my own guard. Yeah, I'm defensive for a reason, hiding all my demons, affected by the seasons. Sometimes I just feel like leaving. I'm sick of all these feelings, I'm sick of always dealing. Yo, you say that I've changed, but you've changed.
cost code.
In my veins is from the things you say. Your state of mind never stays the same. You say you're fine, but you lie to me inside. You're divided.
And so that's, yeah, audit initiative itself has to deal with vehicle class and start and end date. So we would have to go into here and audit initiative group known cause code. We would have to have the group known cause code. Yep. Vehicle class, calendar year. I thought we would have just as a calendar year. Yeah, but it has a start date and end date too. So which ones are filled in? Probably not the start and end date. Okay, so calendar year instead. So then we would have to say select count from audit initiative group now cause code where group cause code count code equals no code ID and cause code ID. Code. Yep. Platform. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Calendar year. Okay. So that's count, and we would basically state that if case when greater than 0, then 1, else 0, and okay. Yep. So we do have some that are audit initiative related. Very good. Okay. And then that just is a yes or a no.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal, you can.
So we don't necessarily know which one, but we know that it is related to one. Yep, just like those. Good.
I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good It's like every different
So
season,
the
yo.
NIP audit.
Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time, that's
Audit
how you want
issue
your cadence. So
counts,
flow, you grow, you show
which
yourself
is
the
this one, I
foundation.
think.
Stay
Yeah.
away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Okay.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Makes sense right there. Alright, very good. So if we went to our programmability for those audits, I think it would be select NIP audits 8.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside
And
my
it is
palm.
probably
Play with me like
data
cats
set
trying to
3.
scream. You don't understand the pain
We
of
got
brain.
total NIP
You
audits,
don't
count
ever wanna
audits,
give me
average
wings.
points
You don't ever wanna set me
by
free. You know I'm
class.
addicted to you.
Yeah,
And it's twisted, you've been gifted with the
okay.
evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins,
Yep,
pierce
so
my
that's
heart straight
year,
through. I got issues in my head. I like you in my
calendar
bed, but
date,
you keep
beginning
me
of month
on red.
date.
Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
Okay, and then we get all the stuff from where join NIP audits dot beginning of month dates, average, total NIP points. Yeah, okay. We're getting it directly from the NIP audit view.
Everything that you did, that you said, I don't think you understand what you're doing.
Right.
And my heart's black and blue
Mhm.
from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you, I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing. Sitting there, gaslighting
Audit
and
sum up
confusing.
by level.
Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded?
So we
I'm
would
the one that's
copy
always
that.
sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you, I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you, I
So
knew
that's from
this. When I'm
TNIP
with you,
audit
I feel so
issues,
useless. I feel
right?
diluted, my heart's been wounded.
That's going to
Silhouettes
then
of you
group
are like a taunt.
by NIP audit
Never
ID,
really know just what you want.
right?
With you, I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and
Put
a
that back
string.
again.
You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. straight up. 5 years later, like I said, I would make it on my way up. It's all love, coming from the nation, lay the foundation, true stuff, yeah, too tough. We ain't giving up on our dreams, everything is ahead of us. Stay true to your path, it's not where you start, it's all where you're at. It's where you end up when your back's to the mat. Do you cripple to flat or get up off your back? Deliver these facts to see them react. The stadium's packed, they all gonna snap. The motivated attract, the isolated attack, the frustrated hit back. Yeah, we move fast. I wanna change everything.
Um,
I swear I'll do
okay,
anything
so we're back now.
just to
I'm just
get
gotta figure this work problem
what
out
I
real quick, and
once
then I can go back to working on my stuff. Um, but essentially, if we're inside of an audit, we need to know how many issues of that audit are AI related. Um,
It's automatic, I'm always getting after it. If you ain't working, I don't understand what's happening. There's not enough time just to be imagining. You gotta take some action towards practicing. I know it's not easy, but you gotta get out there. Make your own meaning, can't afford to have doubts. They'll interrupt dreaming, I just wanna look out there. The crowd all screaming. I wanna
that's
change
saying
everything.
from audit
I
issues,
swear I'll do
right? And then we would have to have something inside of there that indicated, like, is it audit initiative valued or not? Which, kind of like this, of is related to audit initiative. So we could take this sort of thing. We're going to say from TNIP audit issues. And if we did something like this, come here, and we could say,
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great.
platform.
I like you,
Platform's
I can't
out
wait.
there.
A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste
Uh,
time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
okay. But that subquery has no reference to the platform being used on the audit itself.
You got it all on tap. I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks. Listen all
Huh.
night in the sheets all
Okay.
black. Said I'm falling fast. Don't remember life before you, that's fact.
Hmm.
I feel good, you look great.
And then that looks at the calendar here. But I mean that could come from there too. Taking the issues and the score level. But in reality, we would have to join it to the audit program. That's kind of what we're doing. We just don't have outside visibility of what's going on. So I don't want to do that. So in this case, we have the table of an audit issues, and we're just joining on what? On the NIPA audit ID, right? Because that's what we're grouping on, was the audit ID, which is fine. Um, hmm. So if we just had a summary view that did NIPA audit underscore count audit initiative items type of deal, then we wouldn't need to worry about that. But yeah, we could get rid of this. No, we couldn't. As is related to audit initiative. Wait, what did I do wrong here? What is it? Okay. So I think we can probably come up with just a view that stays low level and just count the number that way. And then we could join it in to the table itself. Yeah, we just have to do it without using this view. We would have to kind of build up our own. So we could say new view. Okay. Yeah, we'd have to do a new query. Yeah. So we'd have to start with the by the audit and then going both and then using the other ones. So let's start with select all from, start with the basics of NIPA audit issues, where is deleted. Okay, equals 0. Alright, inner join to NIPA audit on audit ID equals TNIPA. Alright, let's go back over here. Alright, I'm gonna put myself on mute for now.
Special if I get rid of the devils. They think that I am a rebel. I think they want me to settle. There's nobody on my level. They think that work is too stressful. I think that work is essential. The grind is all in your mental. And I don't think you understand what I'll go through just to be in control of my life soon. All the negativity, man, I'm immune. I don't really need a mask with all I've been through. I've been making changes for the ages. 5-10 year plans are contagious. I attack that shit, I'm tenacious. And if you ain't, get the fuck out of my way then. Got one life, I won't regret it. I will fight until I get it. I'll look back one day from heaven and say, damn, I learned some lessons. And say, damn, I have no questions. I had fun in every second, and the journey was a blessing, yeah. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel this stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build
Good
up until I
morning.
can't hear, that my mind fills up
Doing
into
good. How
a
about yourself?
creature,